I need to get someone who can read music and just come down and play my mug. Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Father James. I'm coming to you from the St. Peter's location and I'm drinking from my music coffee mug. I'm not sure what exact music is on the mug. Maybe someday I'll get someone to play my mug for me. If you're watching and you can sight read music, you ready? There you go. Okay, you can put it in the comments what you think it is. Well, I'm drinking from the coffee mug because I want to speak to you about a topic that involves music, quite a lot of music, and that topic is Holy Week, which is coming up in 2 weeks. It's hard to believe we're just 2 weeks away from this incredible week. Now, I don't want to get into the details about Holy Week. I just want to kind of step back a little bit and look at the big picture because it's our week. You know, it really is the most sacred week of the year. And, you know, Lent is the most sacred time of the year. Holy Week is the most sacred period of that time. At the center of that week is the Triduum, Latin, which means tree, three, and duum, the 3 days. So the 3 days, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday. So the three liturgies of the liturgy of the Lord's Supper on Thursday night, the liturgy of Good Friday at 3 p.m., 3 p.m. everywhere in the world, and the Easter Vigil. Those are the three most sacred, the highest liturgies of the year. And of course, the crowning liturgy of all of these three, the great crescendo, is the Easter Vigil itself. So that's the high point. And so it's our week. But we're celebrating this most holy week in the midst of a culture that, well, we started seeing chocolate eggs and chocolate bunnies in the stores probably about a month ago now, and there's not a lot of thought given to the sacred aspect of this week. So we're coming into it. Many of us will have Good Friday off as a holiday. It is the case still here in Canada. So we're invited to kind of live these rhythms within the secular context. And so I want to invite you, especially our parishioners, to see this as an invitation to a kind of retreat, to allow the liturgy to not just be something that happens here in the church, but something that penetrates your life. You know, one of the things that made a huge impression on me was when I was a young man. I was first in the seminary. I went out to a seminary in British Columbia, Seminary of Christ the King, which was affiliated with a Benedictine monastery. Now, well, I actually thought about being a monk for about 10 minutes. I realized that probably wouldn't have worked. I would have driven them crazy. But one thing I remember from my 3 years there, which was a wonderful, wonderful experience, is the way the liturgy impacted your life. Liturgy wasn't just something you did in the church. The liturgy, if it was a feast day or a fast day, it impacted the schedule of the day, what you wore for the day, what kind of food you had to eat. It impacted everything. And so we want to allow the liturgy to kind of overflow out of this place and to touch our lives. And so what might that mean? Okay, so Holy Week begins with Passion Sunday, also known as Palm Sunday. And it's the very beginning. We get a great overview of the whole week. We will read the Passion, we'll process in with palms. At the 4 o'clock Mass, we're going to meet in the foyer. And hopefully, if the weather is not inclement on Sunday morning, we're going to process from the school and try to actually do a procession. We're going to try to sing this year. Hopefully, we can keep it together because we're not that familiar with processions. On Tuesday of Holy Week, we have the Chrism Mass at the Cathedral. That's a very important part. Now, normally that Chrism Mass is done on the morning of Holy Thursday, but because we have priests who have to travel in at great distance and return to their parishes, it doesn't make sense to do it then. So we have it on Tuesday. So if you're free to join us on Tuesday at the Cathedral, please come. It's a wonderful experience. And then Holy Thursday, Mass of the Lord's Supper. We commemorate the Eucharist, the great gift of the Eucharist, and the call by Jesus to wash one another's feet. And we finish off that liturgy with another procession. And here's our plan: is to process up to the parish center and have the altar of repose, where we take the Blessed Sacrament and we up to that other location and set up a beautiful altar and have a place of prayer that will go from about 8:30 in the evening until about 11 p.m. So that's the plan. We tried this last year and it worked really, really well. It creates a wonderful place of prayer that's different from what we usually have. And of course, the other side of it is that the church, the tabernacle, is the Blessed Sacrament is removed from the tabernacle, the vigil lamp is extinguished, and there's a great sense of emptiness in the church that you can feel, like the Blessed Sacrament's not there. So when we come in on Good Friday, we don't genuflect, and it's a sense of barrenness and emptiness. And the great Good Friday liturgy is amazing at 3 o'clock. Before I tell you about that, there is going to be a children's version of the liturgy at 11 o'clock for families. But we expect that this place will be pretty busy at 3 o'clock, and the liturgy of Good Friday is so profoundly beautiful. It's an amazing experience. So I invite you to make Good Friday a real day of retreat, really from Thursday night onwards. Good Friday is a day of fasting for us, so we very consciously make a sacrifice, such as not eating meat and only having one meal, like really entering into it, that we should, forego the regular rhythms of our life as much as possible. It's a holiday, it's a holy day for us, that we, maybe go for walks, but let's not go to the mall or anything like that. Like really try to make this day different. Read the Passion, spend time with the Scriptures, come to the liturgy. We're going to have a Sacrament of Reconciliation available after Mass as well, and there's going to be Stations of the Cross later that evening. By the way, the full schedule of all the Holy Week events is going to be on our website, so check that out. So that brings us all the way through to Holy Saturday morning, where there's a great silence as we wait. And here's the critical thing about Holy Week. We take each liturgy at face value, and we live each moment of that liturgy. So on Holy Thursday, we are in the upper room. We're celebrating the Eucharist. The Eucharist is being instituted, and we're there with the Lord. We're there in the Garden of Gethsemane in prayer. And Good Friday, we're with the Lord when He's removed from the cross. There's an experience of great emptiness, because here's the thing: it's almost like we try to allow ourselves to forget that we know the ending, that it doesn't end there. We allow ourselves to be in that space. That's why we don't wish each other Happy Easter on Good Friday. I mean, so the thing about it is like, let's wait for it. That's the whole point. We're supposed to wait. And we come together at the Easter Vigil, and if you come to the Vigil before you remember, it's dark inside. And there's a fire outside that we light, and then the light slowly penetrates the darkness, and then we have the singing of the Exultet, the great 5th century hymn written by St. Ambrose, and then the incredible readings, these 7 readings that have been read at the Easter Vigil for centuries. Since the 4th century, we know for a fact that these same readings were read. And then there's finally the proclamation of the gospel, before which we sing the great Alleluia. And that's really the point that we allow ourselves emotionally to truly announce and experience the resurrection of Jesus. Until then, we're kind of holding back. That's why even in that liturgy, we ring bells and we sing a very long Alleluia, and it's really remarkable. So in all of these liturgies, one thing that they will all have in common is that there's going to be amazing and beautiful music. And through these liturgies, may you sing the song of the Lord. May the music of these liturgies not just resonate in these walls, but overflow into your lives, into your homes, and into your hearts. God bless.